Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the 777, the 300ER, flying Emirates from Dubai to Kabul, Afghanistan. It's a real flight according to FS Dispatch that took place in the summer of 2018. Not sure if it's a exception or if it's a common occurrence that they used to fly to Afghanistan, but they did at least back in 2018 during the summer. Have a weekly schedule, and we're not flying, of course, the right livery or the exactly right aircraft, but at least we're flying the right airline and the right aircraft type. So I do kind of like recreating some of these flights that have taken place in real life. And here we can see our flight plan, and it does look, I'm not sure if they fly around Afghanistan due to the risk, you know, of the war on terror, or if it's because there's really no, but I'm pretty sure Kandahar is pretty close here, so yeah, not 100% sure though why we're doing this, but let's just follow this flight plan, because why not? And I've already set up most of the things. Okay, we can see the light from within the aircraft. So I've already started the batteries and external power. There we have a nice plane landing, very late. Is that a go around or is it actually gonna land? I think it's landing. But yeah, so I already set up a few things, then I decided I would make a video out of this. Just because it's an interesting flight. It's quite early morning as well, so that's good to take note of. So it's probably soon gonna be much lighter, but I thought it would be fun to start with a bit of darker and see kind of the sun coming up. Wait, what the hell? How many planes are trying to land simultaneously? Jesus Christ, that looked... what? That's hilarious. That, okay, yes, very, very interesting. And I'm actually gonna check if I have the traffic, because we don't need any other traffic than the real traffic. Okay, we don't need to see the virtual airlines, since we're flying a real airline, no fictional ones. But yeah, not much to say. It's a pretty good model, the PMDG 777. Not as nice as the 737-800, but still pretty good. I'm a big fan. It's a nice livery, the Emirates one, pretty iconic. We are gonna change. Let me just see. Do I have any? Let's put a nice view from the exterior. We can't use the static one, right? Because we can't really jump between that. It'll be quite a long flight, so I'm thinking I'll probably pause the recording at some point, then restart it for the approach to keep the video a bit more condensed. But let's see. First things first, though. I've started everything, but we don't have. We haven't yet loaded up our plane in terms of fuel, etc. So we're gonna be flying with 62,400. Wait, why is it in kilos? Have I not? Let me see. It could have been that it was a long time since I flew this one. What's the beeping for? No clue actually. Let me see. Maybe it's the airport. Or maybe it's one of the jetways, right? Doesn't seem like we have anything odd. Nav adhere inertial, and that's odd. Okay, let's do the things on the aircraft though. We have EFB, yeah, you can see we don't have everything kind of set up as I would want it. I like to have the separate ISDF. Cabin sign selector. Yeah, let's do no smoking. That's a cool one. RAS V1. Yeah, we want to have the callouts. I kind of like having them, even though I guess they're optional. We can even have 5. So why not? And then we want to change, of course, the to pounds, the weight, just because I'm more used to that. And I think that should be, wait, let me see actually, failures. Yeah, we should have that, hopefully it's on just gonna check quickly that we aren't missing anything else. Looks pretty good though. Yeah, it seems to be correct. Okay, let's see. I think we can now not set up, but FS actions. Let me just check. We have disarmed, so that one is open. I have no clue about that sound though. Let me see, maybe it's a Dubai thing. Flight Tampa Dubai beeping. Let me see, jetway beeping P3D. Doesn't sound like the beeping though. Or maybe it's just that much traffic, right? Could be. But okay, we'll try to make do. I don't think it's gonna be that loud on the recording itself, even though I can hear it in the background and it's driving me insane. Okay, but let's instead do the fuel, etc. I'm just gonna check that I have everything closed. That should be closed. We don't need to have that one open. We don't need to have that. That's my list of the different aircraft for the different sims. Of course I managed to close my sim brief flight plan, but that's fine. We can maybe we can view flight plan. That should, there we go. Okay, so in terms of fuel we should be at 62.4. There we go. In terms of zero fuel weight, we should be at 462.1. There we go. We can now start our boarding process. I'm just gonna put in our normal flight number. Let's see, we're gonna fly to 38,000. Seems like it's a step climb. I'm gonna put this to 3 hours and 20. Not sure how long this will actually take. Let's do a bit less in terms of people amount. I'm gonna guess Wi-Fi, etc. was available back in 2018. We're doing Emirates for the boarding music. And we're doing Emirates for the safety. Good. Let me see if we can get the right data. Let's just use that. So we'll put the origin. And we have of course the EFB here as well, and we should have the right document. I hope at least. Yeah, we do have it. Perfect. I was actually thinking if I was gonna fly the black box A340-300, but then I decided I would want to fly an aircraft that works nicely. Which this one does. We're taking off from runway 30 left. And let's have a look that we're getting the right departures, etc. So we are doing the Dawn 4F departure. And then we are doing M318 KHM A4 453 C Zulu Delta November G45 452 to Kalat. Okay, Kalat. And after Kalat we're flying the G325. So quite a bit of different waypoints to Lacra. So let's put that in Lacra, and then we're flying the M8. Did we actually start the GSX boarding? I think we forgot that. Just because the sounds is awful. Let's see. So the GSX boarding has started as well. M881. We don't need to connect the tug. Layak. Then from Layak we're doing the L509 to Tapis. So yeah, we have quite a lot of different. Let me see, what's my outside view? That noise is annoying. I hope at least once we get somewhere it will disappear. Okay, and direct to the ILS 29er. The question is, do we want to do any sort of transition? So let's have a look at our approach. So we're doing the ILS 29er. We want to do Vibru, right? Let me see if I activate the approach, how is it gonna look? Now that looks a bit weird, to be honest. Do we really want to fly to Tapis to then go to Vibru? I'm thinking better to go from Layak to Vibro directly. So if we remove Tapis, we'll have a better flight, I think. At least a shorter one. So I'm gonna remove or delete the Tapis one like that. And when we're doing the arrival, we're doing the Vibro transition. I'm gonna put that as a direct. No, it's not technically correct, but I think that's how it will look at it from a well, let me see if it's let me see here. It's looking a bit weird. I'm looking at Pilot TDC. I'm just trying to understand this one. Like, it wants us to turn around. Hopefully that shouldn't be an issue, because at Layak it still wants us to be at 37,000, which seems quite high if we're then supposed to go down to 14,000. Maybe we can descend earlier. Let's have a look. I'm gonna try to validate. See if we can get this working. This one is saying 37,000 for the full flight. Maybe that's our cruising altitude then. Maybe it doesn't consider step climbs. Let's do heavy. Let's do Emirates. I will connect. Okay, we can activate and execute the flight plan. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do step climbs, but maybe we can just do 37,000 in that case. Avoid any hiccups with Pilot 2ADC. 462.1 was the zero fuel. Reserves were at 7. Cost index was at 200. Trust limitations, etc. That's gonna be next. Okay, we have almost loaded most stuff. But goddamn. Okay, so it's within the sim. Is the problem related to that jetway? I don't understand. The beeping is awful. No way around that. We can have a look at performance. Hopefully we'll be on our way soon enough. We're taking off from runway 30 left. Conditions are dry. In terms of weather on our flight, let's have a look at it. Seems like there's some turbulence and a strong jet stream. But other than that, it looks pretty fine, so we should be okay. In terms of the wind, let's see, are we connected to the sim? We are, but the problem is of course that we haven't yet turned on the radios, which we now have. And the question is which one are we using? It's the second one. The frequency for the 80s is 126. at 27. Huh, why did we get that? Are we using the wrong one? One, 2, 6 at 2, 7.
2.17. Current altimeter is 2962. Arriving and departing runway 30 left, 30 right.
Okay, we are monitoring. Let's see. If I want to get... How do I swap them? This way maybe? If I switch to the right one, maybe that will... Let me see, 1, 2, 6, 2, 7. Why won't that one save? Ah, frustrating.
Current altimeter is 2962. Arriving and
Okay, now
departing
it's
runway
saving.
30
That's
left,
why.
30 right. Dubai International Airport automated weather observation 330 local winds are 248 at 5 knots. Visibility 4 miles. Skies clear. Temperature 32, 5 knots. 17. Visibility 4 miles. Current altimeter is 2962.
Okay, we don't want to listen to both.
30 left, 30 right. Dubai International Airport automated weather observation 330 local
Why
winds
don't I
are
see
248
the
at 5 knots. Visibility 4 miles.
the
Skies
chatter
clear.
box?
Temperature 32, dew point 17. Current altimeter is 2962. Arriving and departing
Yeah, we
runway
want to
30
change
left,
altimeter as
30
well.
right. Dubai International Airport automated weather
Oh, now it's
observation
switched to
330
number
local
common
winds are
number 1.
248
Oh,
at
I
5
can't
knots.
even. This is not the easiest. Okay, I think we have the radios working as they should. No, now we don't. Now we're back on radio 1, okay. Such a strange setup trying to get the Logitech ones to work with the PMDG, but okay, let's get the input.
003. Arriving and departing runway 30 left, 30 right. Dubai International Airport automated weather observation 330 local winds are 248 at 5 knots. Visibility 4 miles.
8 at
Skies
5
clear.
knots.
Temperature 32, dew point 17. Current QNH is 1003. Arriving and
32,
departing runway 30 left,
1,
30 right.
0, 0, 3.
Dubai International Airport
Yep,
automated
there
weather
we go.
observation 330 local.
Takeoff weight. We have an estimated of 52300. I think we can find looking at payload, we can find this one, 28.9. Fax auto, calculate. Why is it in kilos? No. Okay, let me see, do we have system page? Pounds. Yes, buddy, there we go. Five, 2, 3, 0, 4, 0. Okay, there we go. Select the temp, etc. We got the. We are getting the important data. 66 for selected temp, and we can do. Let me see, 89.5. What's the climb one it's suggesting? No suggestion in that regard. Let's do climb 1. Flaps 5. CG was 28.9. Takeoff weight was 5, 2, 3. Winds were 248. I'm just looking whilst I'm typing into the FMC. Slope 0. We don't have slopes. Reference outside air temp 32 degrees plus. Throttle reduction climb 2. Maybe I should be on climb 2 then in that case. Yeah, we're on climb 2. 140.
We're ready to go when you are.
150. 165. Okay, there we go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard.
Okay, we got the data on
Our
the
flight time will be roughly 3 hours and 20 minutes. Please note the cabin doors now closed.
103.
We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode.
We
and your
can
large
start the
devices are now shut down
APU.
and stowed.
Also put on the beacon. We can start closing some of the doors as well.
Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure. Cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for
We
all.
can close everything and arm everything, I would say. Yeah, that's on free flight. Let's do the seatbelt sign. We'll arm everything. The only thing I got a bit worried, do we have like maintenance-based failures? I do feel like I always have that on, but it is of course possible to forget that. Options, right? Simulation. Service-based failures, yeah. Sounds. Nothing we can fix, I think. Okay, we have the speed set. 140, 150, 165. That's happy days. We can go to the airport map. We're taking off from 30 left. I want to do the north map so I can tweak. We're very close, so
We've
it's
got
gonna
a
be.
passenger refusing to listen to us and return to his seat. The situation is escalating. What do you want to do?
No, goddamn passenger.
Let's see if we can talk to the passenger and get them calmed down.
Okay.
I never understand if there's any follow-up to those incidents, but yeah. Interesting enough that they happen at least. Let me just close Discord. I don't know why I have that open. Okay, let's talk to ground clearance. 1220 at 35. Emirates 4003 heavy, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Emirates 4003 Heavy is cleared to Oscar Alpha Kilo Bravo climb via the DAM 4 Foxtrot departure with the DABMO transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway tree 0 left.
Let's put those
Climb
on
to flight
data.
level 200 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 5
TFC.
minutes after departure. Dubai departure
guess
on
it's off.
121.02. Squawk 4454.
4454.
Emirates 4003 Heavy is cleared to Oscar Alpha Kilo Bravo. Climb via the DAB 4 Foxtrot departure with the DAB transition.
Let's put it
then
on
as
so I don't
filed.
forget.
Climb to flight level 200 via the departure. Expect higher clearance as 5
We
minutes after
can
departure.
zoom in a
Dubai
bit.
departure on 121.02. Squawk
One thing we'll want to
4454.
do is to
Emirates
use the
4003
camera.
Heavy readback correct QNH is 1003 contact Dubai ground on 121.65 when ready for
So how did you
pushback.
get the
Enjoy
camera
your morning.
working? God, I always forget that.
QNH is
Oh yeah, checklist as
1003
well.
ground on 121.65
Oxygen,
Emirates 4003
flight
heavy.
instruments. I guess oxygen is fine, yeah. Flight deck doors, MCP, somewhat set. We can put this a bit higher. Takeoff speed, CDU pre-flight trim, we haven't, that should be at 5. Signal FMC in operation. Taxi takeoff briefing, yeah sure, okay. That's good enough. Here we go, cam, right? There we go. We have some cameras. God, the FPS drops like crazy though, getting that camera set up. But okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. We should have... I'm gonna remove the camera though now, just for the FPS gain of having that. Let's put that on. So we should have the APU now running, which means we can disconnect the external power, etc. Which is in FS actions. Can release ground power as first step, and then the wheel chocks. We can operate the jetway, aka removing it. Preparing for pushback and departure. I'm not gonna miss the sounds of the beeping, so it's gonna be nice. Equipment cooling over. Maybe we don't need to. Oh no, it doesn't seem to be any issue. I think it should be as it is. What about the flight deck door? Isn't there usually a button for that? Possibly, but I guess doesn't really matter. We're not gonna get any issues. Camera lights, is that for the below? I'm gonna assume so. We can wait with weather radar. Data is on. I wonder if they use meters in Kazakhstan. Sorry, Kazakhstan, in Afghanistan. And I think they're all connected, yeah. Anything else we need to do? Oh yeah, we need to ask for Emirates 4003 heavy, ready for pushback. I didn't get my message. Let's reach out to them again. Emirates 4003 heavy, ready for pushback.
Emirates 4003
Okay,
heavy.
nose
Pushback
left.
approved.
Pushback approved Emirates 4003
Okay,
heavy.
parking brake released. What an annoying ass alarm, not gonna lie. Okay, start at will. I just quickly wanna see how this looks. So that's pretty cool, seeing the pushback. Okay, we got start at will, so let's do that. So this is a pretty useful tool, right, to for taxiing purposes. And for seeing cars that we are unfortunately driving over. Okay, let's see, engine.
about to show you the safety features of this Emirates
It should
flight, and we
provide
need
some fuel to the engine. The captain and the co-pilot look happy, so that's good.
under the seat in
And I really like the sounds on this aircraft. I know some people panned it, but I think it's pretty cool.
any mobile phones or tablets should
At
be
least
put
I
in
don't
flight mode.
feel like I need
After
a
takeoff,
new
we'll let you know when you can turn on Wi-Fi.
another 777. I don't feel like I need a sound pack, but it's different for everyone.
If you lose your phone under a seat, ask your cabin crew to help you find it. Do not move the seat, as this may damage the phone and its battery. By now, your TV screen, tray table, and footrest should be folded away. Your window blind should be open, and your seat in the upright position.
Do you want any panel flood? Yeah, maybe a bit like this.
Seated with your seatbelt fastened. Wear it low and tight across your lap.
That's
Adjust it
pretty
by
cool.
grabbing the strap. Lift the metal flap to unfasten.
Okay, I think that engine has started pretty nicely. We can start the left one.
And securing it over your blanket when sleeping, so if needed, we won't have to disturb you.
Throttling
Illegal
up.
to smoke on board, including using or charging electronic smoking devices. All toilets have smoke
I think
detectors.
Emirates is the biggest 737 operator. Sorry, not 737. 300 operator. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong though. So take my words with a bit of caution.
Starts the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your face and breathe normally.
But I do want to check now. Emirates fleet, but I have a recollection that they would be the biggest operator of the A380 and the triple. Okay, they are the biggest 777 operator as well. But I guess it's even the ER, right? They have a few of the LR that they're using. And in the past, they have probably had the ER. Yeah, they had 6 of them. They even had 12 of the 300, not the extended range one. Not sure where this plane is going, but I have a feeling it's gonna crash into us. Oh, no, it is parking, but it's gonna hit us with its wing. Yes, it's not very good, but okay. We'll say our goodbyes and let's put the parking brakes and let them know we have a good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Enjoy your flight with Emirates.
Okay, let's see. Equipment, cooling, override.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
No, was that really the sound? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Was it one of these? Maybe you shouldn't arm these. Yeah, okay, so that's the... so dumb. Sorry about that, guys. I was certain it was the jetways beeping, but it was only my own doing. But okay, we learned something new. I think I've had that same thing happening before, so I only learned something again. Flight controls, ground equipment clear, flaps 5, trim is already set, so that's good. Turn off and taxi lights, and that's something I really hate when, you know, it becomes morning and then all the lights just kind of go out. I guess it's technically correct, you know, it happens at some point, but I feel like it's a bit lighter usually outside, but oh well. It is what it is. Okay, everyone's on board. We're looking pretty good. I think we can put that on legs page. We can put this on Do we want to have it on anything? What's the standard one? Just keeping it dark maybe. Weather radar is on. Well, let's do left weather radar, right terrain, release parking brake, add a bit of thrust. I think we can close the floodlights just because, yeah, it's not really that helpful. In terms of taxiing, we need to ask taxi clearance. Emirates 4003 Heavy, ready to taxi. Okay, I think we're getting the taxi clearance. Yeah.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, runway 30 left. Taxi via Zulu 17, Zulu, Alpha, Zulu, Juliet 4, Juliet 5, Kilo, Kilo 18, Mike 21, Mike, Mike 19er. Hold short runway 30 left.
The worst part
runway
is
30 left. Taxi via Zulu 17, Zulu, Alpha, Zulu, Juliet 4, Juliet 5, Kilo, Kilo 18, Mike 21, Mike, Mike 19er.
okay, I'm just gonna keep on this one, because I'm otherwise gonna be hitting that one from the side. I think they want us to taxi this one and then come up here. But oh well, we won't do that today. Okay, let's see. How's the taxiing feeling? It's pretty good, the taxiing. This is my second favorite one after the FS Labs A320 in taxiing terms. The 737 is also pretty good. Okay, so that one is seemingly at least, I guess it has landed, so it's not taking off the A380. Our wings would hit here, wouldn't they? No. Okay, almost, but not really. I'm gonna take a bit of a shortcut just to save myself some time for this long flight, since we're not really flying anything official. Basically they want us to go around on that side, but I'm just gonna go from the left directly. And what do we have there? A Royal Jordanian A320 it looks like. Oh yeah, we are overspeeding, which is not good. You should not overspeed while taxiing. And not good. Okay, we have one plane coming in for landing, and we have another one that's gonna take off. I mean, theoretically, I guess I could then. I do have some time. Is it only one, or do we have multiples in a row? Yeah, but they seem to be landing on the other runway, so that's good. Oh, and that's a Qatar 777. Okay, I'm just gonna be a good flyer and go around. We have the extra time due to that 777 taking off. You gotta be kidding with me. No, 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 no. It's this. Okay, I know what's... Okay, so basically since the flight Tampa one is an older version of the airport, you didn't have... you didn't have the... Oh, god damn it. I'm dumb. Yeah, so basically they have changed the layout of the airport, so we were flying... Yeah, we weren't gonna be able to do what they asked us. I hope someone would modify the flight Tampa one. You know, just add some of these missing things, but I guess, you know, it's not the main focus. Okay, let's add some throttle. And let's turn this bugger around. Oh, I saw a bit of a black box there. Is it rain then, or something else that's triggering it? But okay, we've been a good captain now and turned around. And we won't be able to line up as they requested, but we'll be able to do somewhat close to that. Yeah, you can see the lights coming off. A bit of lag. I guess we have so many planes, right? I need to really tone down those taxi. I don't know why I got so inspired to add more planes. Emirates 4003 Heavy, ready for takeoff.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, contact Dubai Tower on
They weren't really able to turn as we should have.
Tower on 118.75
like that.
Emirates 4003 Heavy.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, ready for takeoff.
Emirates
Yes,
4003 Heavy, winds are 248 at 5
Okay.
knots. Runway tree 0 left cleared for takeoff, squawk 4454.
So one thing we forgot was the
Runway
clock.
tree 0 left cleared for takeoff, squawking 4454 Emirates
But
4003
that
Heavy.
is what it is. LNAV and VNAV, we can arm those. In the future I should really not have 50% traffic on when I'm in Dubai. That's also one of the big reasons. I'm gonna turn it down to 35. It's not so bad when you're flying small airports like Helsinki or Arlanda, but these big ones, it's pretty awful. One thing we need to shut is the APU. How the hell did I forget that? Okay, this has been a flight with dumb mistakes. Not doing my due diligence. Okay. Time to take off. Let's use that one. Okay, here's speed alive, 80 knots, checked. 100 knots, checked. Okay, let's be a bit careful for tail. The risk is the tail strike, right? Since we're quite a long plane. Rotate. B2. We have a positive rate of climb. Gear is coming up. Oh, we can pitch down a bit. You can't really see, well there is Burj Khalifa, so we can see a bit of it, but not too much. So yeah, saying goodbye. Oh, that was pretty cool viewpoint actually. Let me change to, what do I want? I want the engine one. That one. That's a cool one. Okay.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, contact Dubai
You
departure
can go
on
flap 0.
124.67.
Departure on 124.67
LNAV, etc. is
Emirates
activated.
4003 Heavy.
LNAV and VNAV. Looking pretty good. A bit of a...
Departure Emirates 4003 Heavy, climbing to flight level.
Let's just go with
200.
autopilot straight. Then I can enjoy the views a bit.
400
Even though it is a bit lazy. But we are climbing. Oh yeah, and there was some weird thing here. I need to have a look at that at some point. But there is like... Yeah, out on these islands, it almost looks like there's no... yeah, there's no way that these islands are photoreal. I need to have a look at that at some point. Okay, we are climbing.
Emirates 400, 3 heavy contact Emirates center on 1.
And let me get a nice...
Center on 124.85 Emirates 4003 Heavy.
a nice thumbnail from this. Not always you're gonna get this nice early morning. Okay, and we're climbing to flight level 200.
Heavy, good morning.
and everything is seemingly good. Nothing odd. Checklist items. Yeah, we can override all of these, it's fine. We fixed it, it was just I who messed it up. Descent will be our next step. Okay, and we are climbing, we can go to standard. And it's all looking very nice. Yeah, it's a very beautiful aircraft, the 777-300ER. Okay, it's saying that we have 400 sorry, not 400, 4 hours of flight to go, which I doubt, but it could be a while. Let me just jump out again. There we have a nice boat. Okay, weather is looking fine. But yeah, it's gonna be a long flight, this one. And we are speeding up now, so we're ascending a bit slower than we would otherwise do. Question is, what about... One thing we didn't do was the flight control checks, but everything seems to have been working as it should. Yeah, APU is off. What's the FMC right one? Is there any... I'm gonna guess they are both working, right? Looks like it. Okay, what's that? So we recall, we have a message on FMC right. Well, what's it about? We have Adiru. I'm gonna assume it's fine, but let me have a look. Non-normal menu. Can you check here? Flight management, navigation, FMC right. Right FMC is failed. So, the $1,000,000 question is, did I fail that by mistake? And actually we can leave this one. Oh, no, we want to use this one, right? So PMDG setup, not simulation, aircraft failures. We have an active one actually. FMS nav Adiru. Did I by mistake click that, or did we actually get that? So I'm gonna assume we have that. So is there any checklist that we need to do? Having this one, FMC right, 777 failure. I don't think there's any issues, right? And let me just change. So even though we have a failure, Let's see, one FMC failure. Checklist 777.
Emirates 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 290.
I don't think there should be any problems, but we can't use the right FMC, right? That's the big problem then, right? So okay, we just have to be aware of that. So let's make sure we have that on. Can't use autoland capabilities, right? Because isn't that two FMCs that are required? Or I guess one can do it, but if it fails, right, then the other one would jump in. So that's a bit okay. We got higher clearances, so let's put it all the way up 37.
Emirates 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Emirates 4003 heavy.
Okay, we're gonna be climbing again. Okay, but that's pretty cool. Like a non-problematic. Let me just move this camera angle a bit so we can check forward. So like a non-problematic FMC failure, that's fine. Even though we would of course rather be without it, specifically if we're flying to a place like Afghanistan, right? Like, is the risk worth it with one FMC? I do wonder what they would have done in real life. Can't find anything when I'm googling. Let me see. Yeah, no. Yeah, really not finding too much information. Okay. I'm gonna guess it's a non-critical item then, to have one FMC out. But I guess you would want to know why it's not functioning. But I will. We'll take that and remember it for the future. Okay, good. We now got down the amount of aircrafts around us. So now it's much smoother, the sim as well. So yeah, I really need to bring that down. Let's do 30%. 35 was also a bit too much. And yeah, we are climbing. It should be fine. We're soon going to be flying over Iran. And we should of course turn all of these lights off, which I totally forgot. Checking this FMC error.
Emirates 4003 heavy contact Tehran.
Maybe we can keep it so we remember. The only thing I do want to check before I pause the sim and restart it on approach is what are the winds and or what's the weather at our destination. Scattered 85, broken at 110, few at 06. So it sounds like it should be okay. It's around 6,000 feet, right? The altitude. And we're landing at runway 29. So here we have the ILS 29. And let me see if I wanna do fit to width. Keep as is. So the airport is at a pretty high one, right? Let me see, how high is it?
Emirates 4003
6,000 about, yeah.
Approach to runway 29er with the Webro transition at Kabul International Airport. Descend and maintain flight level to 40.
Expect vectors to the ILS approach to runway 29er with the Webro transition. Descend and maintain flight level 240 Emirates 4003 heavy.
What's it yapping on about now? Expect vectors to the ILS. We're not even close to the airport. This goddamn pilot 280C. Let me see. I'll cancel IFR.
Center Emirates 4003 Heavy, cancel IFR.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, Roger, radar service terminated, frequency change approved. Have a good one.
Emirates 4003 Heavy. Ready to copy IFR clearance. Let's see if we can get the IFR. Connected.
Emirates 4003 Heavy is cleared to Oscar Alpha Kilo Bravo 5. Climb and maintain flight level 360. Expect higher clearances in 10 minutes. Squawk 4454.
Emirates 4003 Heavy is
Okay,
cleared to
we
Oscar
got higher
Alpha Kilo
clearances.
Bravo is filed. Climb and
Okay, at least
maintain
it
flight
seems like
level
we're able to fix
360.
the
Squawk
Pilot 280C issue as well. So we had a lot of communication issues, FMC, etc. But they should be fine, hopefully. At least we're flying a high fidelity add-on, so hoping for the best. And there we have an interesting airport, maybe a military one. But yeah, since we still have over 2 hours to go, I am gonna pause the recording now, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Welcome back. We are now finally, or soon enough, gonna be at our top of descent, at least according to Pilot 280C here at Lacra. I've actually tried for the first time to use the PMDG, what's it called, time acceleration, and the way you do that is by right clicking here on the chrono, and then it changes color, so you get it to go a bit faster, which seems to have worked pretty well. Saved me half an hour or more. So that was that's pretty cool. Should have used it at an earlier point, but yeah, I've always been a bit scared of using time acceleration, but I thought it would be nice to use it since we're just gonna be flying over kind of nothingness. So, oh well. The weird thing is now, if we're gonna be getting any top of descent info, we haven't gotten anything from Pilot 280C, so I'm a bit scared. We do have IFR though, following, which we should have, but yeah, let's see. It seems like we have some nasty weather. We had some a bit earlier in our trip as well, but we were able to avoid it. But here it really looks like we have a lot of nasty weather that we are gonna avoid just about, I think. Oh, you can see it flashing in here, so I guess we're quite close to some of the nasty weather. Oof, look at that, guys. Not good, not good. The question is, how the hell do you get around that? I'm gonna request another altitude. Because I think this one is suggesting that at Layak will be down at 29ers. Let's try that. Emirates 4003 Heavy. Request flight level 290.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, descend and maintain 9,000 feet, QNH is 100.
Descend and
Yeah,
maintain
don't want to
9,000
descend
feet,
that fast.
QNH is 1001 Emirates 4003 Heavy.
At least we got the QNH, so that's good. 1001. Emirates 4003 Heavy, request flight level 290. Okay, let's see. Did we get anything? Nothing. Oh, here we can do request descent to, click to enter altitude.
Center Emirates 4003 Heavy, request descent to flight level 290.
Emirates 4003 Heavy,
Okay,
descend
we
and
got the
maintain
descent
flight
clearance.
level 290.
290 it
Descend and maintain
is.
flight level 290 Emirates 4003 Heavy.
And we'll start descending when it's time. Okay, very shortly. Let's see. Oh, I also got the pilot attention warning thing, because when I was away, that was pretty cool. Okay, recall checked, notes checked, auto brake. We're doing 2. Talking about that init ref. Let's just use this. I'm not gonna calculate anything. We should be fine. Auto brake, landing data, approach briefing complete. The question is, what's the weather at in Kabul? Looks to be good with potential risk of minimum issues actually. But it depends if the clouds are even there. We'll know once we get there. But yeah, this does worry me a bit, since our minimums are at 6,200. I've already inserted that as well. Let me see, the missed approach is to climb to flight level 180 via Kabul. I hope we have that inserted so we don't need to. Yeah, looks to be inserted, so that's good. Seems like we're gonna avoid the worst of the weather, so we should be fine maintaining this altitude, so that's good. We have started descending a bit to 37,000, because that's I asked for a bit of a higher clearance to get above some of the thunder clouds earlier. Still not or still a non-working right FMC, even though it's seemingly working, but I guess the autopilot isn't working on that one. Or does that mean autopilot FMC right, or does it just mean that the FMC isn't working? Let me have a look. Flight management. Single source ILS, etc. Interesting. Let's have a look. 110.5, 110.5, 285, 285. Okay, we have the right info for the ILS. The question is how this will all go in the end, but it should be fine, hopefully. We will know soon enough. But yeah, it looks like the weather is not the best. Talking about weather, I'm most interested actually now in seeing what the fuel situation. Do we have a prog page? So we'll have at Layak we'll have 22.6. According to our flight plan at Layak, we should be around 22.4, 22.6, 22.6. Yeah, so we're fine. We're actually very much aligned, even when we have, even considering that we use the time acceleration. But okay, after Layak, we want to get down further, right? So let's ask for further descent clearances, and I'm gonna ask to go down to 14,000, I think. I'll have the co-pilot ask because of the
Center Emirates 4003 Heavy, request descent to flight level 140.
Emirates 4003 Heavy negative. Descend and maintain flight level 150.
I'll take
Descend and maintain flight
150,
level
that's
150
fine.
Emirates 4003 Heavy.
At least we're getting down. But yeah, I'm wondering why we're not really. We're still on the Tehran control tower, which makes no sense since we're in the middle of. I don't even know. Let's see here. I really don't know how this one is working. Why would we be on Tehran control? Let me see, frequencies. Yeah, this would be Kabul, right? Let me see
Center
if I can.
Emirates 4003 Heavy descending to flight level 150.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, good morning.
Shouldn't you switch us to Kabul? I don't understand anything. Kabul is 12030. Yeah, Pipe ADC works quite a lot of time, but sometimes it doesn't work that well. Okay, we are seemingly, I think, a bit above, or I would guess at least that we are a bit above our glide slope. Let me see if we could get this. I don't want FPV. Can't you see your vertical track, right? That was possible somehow. Maybe on approach. Potentially not then. Okay, let's jump back to the normal one. Descent. Or actually, let me just double check everything. Yeah, recall notes, auto brake, landing data, approach briefing. Yeah. Biggest risk having to do a go around due to not fulfilling the, I guess, the stabilized requirement and yeah, not seeing the runway before we hit minimums. Let's see if we switch. Oh wait, now we're on the wrong one. If we would switch to Kabul, what's gonna happen?
Center Emirates 4003 Heavy descending to flight level 150.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, good morning. Contact Tehran Center on 120.3.
Center on 120.3 Emirates.
Okay, still Tehran. Let's see if we can descend more.
Center Emirates 4003 Heavy descending to flight level 150.
Emirates 4003 Heavy, good morning.
Let's see, what do we want to be? We want to be at 14,000 and then 10,000. Let's enter. Let's ask for 10,000 feet.
Heavy request descent to 10,000 feet.
Emirates 4003 Heavy negative. Your requested altitude is below the minimum for your route. Descend and maintain 11,500 feet.
Descend and maintain.
We can maintain that, I think, as the exterior. 11,500. That's okay, I think. Okay, let's see. We have some planes around us. 787, A330, 737-500, 300. Okay, interesting. We have 50 nautical miles to go, so we are very close to being where we are supposed to be. But it is quite tricky, right? We can see the mountains here a bit, but considering that this is like really high ground and having an overcast, that's a bit spooky. We'll do auto brake 3 actually. Maybe we should do we have time to play around with the landing. Let me see, OAKB 29. I think it's gonna be dry. Question is with the wind, right? Okay, let's move this to the side. We'll do the keyboard 009 at 3 knots. Outside air temp of 14 degrees Celsius. QNH of 1010. Okay, so that's good. I think we had a bit wrong the QNH previously, so good to get that right. We'll do... Is it flaps 30 that's max? Yeah? Auto, calculate. So 155, which I think it was 140 otherwise, but that's good to know. We should be fine. Within the weight. Okay, we're being asked to add a bit of drag. So I'm adding a bit of spoilers or speed brakes. Nothing that we can see as of now, but hopefully that should help. Yeah, I'll add quite a bit. You can see them moving up there. Okay, anything else? We're soon gonna be in the cloud layer. That will be a bit scary. We'll go terrain mode on this one, while we'll keep the other one on weather radar. We'll zoom in a bit. Speed brake extended, that's the plan. I'm gonna put on the landing lights already. Maybe we should put on the rest as well in order to not be too hampered by or being overloaded. We'll do the seatbelt signs on as well. Anything else? I always wonder about the service interphone, when it should be on and off. I need to check that. One of those things to check. Let me see. Service interphone. I guess it should be on. But not 100% sure. Maybe we can put it on. Okay, we are descending. It wants us to maintain quite a high speed, which I'm a bit surprised. We don't seem to be getting any, so I'm gonna check this one.
Center Emirates 4003 heavy inbound for the ILS approach to runway 29er.
Emirates 4003 heavy contact Kabul tower on 125.
Finally, we got the Kabul tower handover. Let's see if that works or is enough.
Tower Emirates 4003 heavy descending to 11,500.
And now we're definitely in the clouds.
Emirates 4003 heavy, good morning.
Any input from Kabul? Nothing thus far. And I guess we want to be quite set up, if I remember correctly from the document. Let me see. Established on both localizer and glide path, etc. So I'm thinking it might be good. Let's see if we can get the approach. One on. So there we go. We have the localizer. We still have a VNAV path. At least we have the localizer already. I'm gonna remove the speed brake. Gonna arm that. We're on flaps 1. We can probably go to flaps 5. Drag required. Altimeters. That's 14,000 was the transition, so let's switch the altimeters. Lights are set up correctly. Everything else is looking good. And we have the glide slopes. We can start to see the ground below us, but it's not going to be as scenic of an approach as I had been hoping. The minimums were at 6,200, so as long as we get the airport inside before that, we'll be fine. I'm gonna recall so we don't need to see that same FMC message. Drag required. Okay. Further drag. Okay, we're too high, so I'm adding more. Can we force this down a bit more? Okay, we still have about 16 nautical miles to go, but better ready too early than too late. Okay, we can continue descending, I would say. And I'll slow this one down to 145, maybe it's a good compromise. I'll add some more flaps. Okay, let's see, can we get on that glide path? We're so close to getting on the glide slope. Okay, let's see. Can we capture that still, or are we too little too late? Let me see. We have approach on. We are descending. Okay, there we go. Speed brake is armed. We have glide slope captured. So yeah, we were able to force that. And I think we can see the runway there in the distance, so that's good to see. We are using the auto throttle. Apparently that's the way you should do it with the 777. So let's continue doing it. Swap views a bit here. So yeah, looking pretty nice. Since we're back in 2018, the US presence would still be felt here, so I think the airport has some of the US, and I mean, because the airport I have is a freeware one with that it's probably even older than 2018, so we have some US fighter jets, etc. parked there, which you I guess wouldn't see nowadays. Okay, looking good. Let's doesn't look like we have any clouds, I guess, since they were kind of below 6,000. It's this weird thing with Active Sky. It says that there are a cloud layer at that kind of a low altitude, but then there is none. So we should be fine. Okay, manual control. And let's see. If I remember correctly, the auto throttle should disengage by itself. But But let's see, we're too low according to that one, so I'm gonna pitch up a tiny bit. Now we're going a bit to the right. Okay, let's see. Looking pretty good thus far. We're a bit above the glide slope, but the pop is giving us another, so I'm gonna push down a bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't trust the auto throttle to disarm by itself, that's the problem. So I'm gonna be looking at that for most of the time. That's why I like to have manual control over stuff. Because you know it'll work. Or then that you have the detent functions, that's in the Airbus, right? Where you could do auto throttle landing, but then you can just shut it off quite rapidly. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're a bit high still, it feels like. 500. Okay, looking good. Plus 100. Okay, a bit high. Continue. Okay, let's be ready. 200. 100. There we go. Okay, seems to have gone quite well. I'm gonna go manual braking. What's the reversers doing? Are they even... Okay, they were, but maybe they weren't that efficient. Okay, well we managed to stop anyway. Hopefully we don't have too many hot brakes now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 8:36
Yeah, we don't. We
a.m.
can
and it's currently
just say
about
normal.
14 degrees Celsius.
Okay,
Now use your mobile
we did it.
devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is
We never got any landing clearance though, so keep that in mind. For some reason it's dropping water. Is it raining or am I missing something? Let's go to the left here actually. Start off. Okay. But we did it. It was a while since I did a longer, well it's not a long haul, but a longer haul in my perspective, since I rarely do them. I rarely do flights that are above 2 hours or even 1.5. Don't have time for that. But we did it. Very nice to be back at Kabul. I want to fly here more often, just don't have really the... Well, there's not that many nice airports close by. I really like the approach though. I thought you would only get that white thing if it had been raining or something, but maybe it is raining. Are we seeing any rain? Seeing some small flickering, but that's probably just the airport textures acting up. Okay, let's turn off these lights, strobe. We can talk to our passengers, say something nice.
From the flight deck, this is your first officer speaking. We'll be
We have a Turkish A330-200, right? Yeah. Some Cam Air ones as well. That's pretty nice. Pretty dope. They don't have many airlines, right? They have Cam Air and then they have that other one. What's it called? Not Asiana. Ariana maybe. Is it Ariana? I think. Something like that. Which is like the the main one. Let's have a look though where we should park. 3 is a heavy, so we don't need follow. But we can put Emirates. So there we go. Number 3, so not this one but the next one. Should have APU on. So let's see. Wait, that was pretty interesting flight. Okay, let's park nicely here. Seems like there's no jetway though. Oh, we went a bit further than we should have, but okay, we can make do with that. Let's shut these. I assume we have the APU, right? Yeah, looked good. Could of course check with the camera how we're parking, but yeah, no biggie. Good. Seatbelt signs can go off. Our packs we can open a door just to make sure that we get this deboarding. I want to see the landing rate. But yeah, always fun to fly the PMDG 777. It usually works, or most of the time it works really well. Okay, let's see. Any deboarding yet? We have kind of shut everything. Landing altitude. Did I forget to put that in, or am I missing something? Oh well, minor things. We can end the flight. 108, non-compliant passenger. Yeah, seems pretty fine. Let's do the instant replay. Let me just check that everything is closed. GSX didn't like my parking. Surprise, surprise. Usually they don't. Approach was pretty nice. Let's see how the landing was. Still can't see these weird things drop off from the plane. And they said that the immersion thing didn't work in replay mode. We landed pretty okay. Center line, etc. I really like flying the 777. I like all of the 767, 777s, 747 in the sense you can usually get pretty good landings with them. Very kind of stable on approach, at least in the flight sim environment. But yeah. Okay. So that was pretty good. But yeah, that's it. Let's see how long this video was. 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's pretty good. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below or come with other suggestions. Let's see what I'm gonna do next. Maybe I'll do an A340 Cam Air flight or something similar. Maybe from Kabul to Dubai. But let's see. The black box one isn't really my favorite to fly, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll come up with something interesting. And hopefully X-Plane will have an update soon, so I want to fly that again and not get the weird looking clouds. It's just annoying with the flickering. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and otherwise, until next time, bye bye.